Hello, welcome back to another property update video. And as you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, it's not good news. So I guess we will just get into it. There's a whole bunch of backstory on this property and what has been going on here. And it's not awesome, right? It's basically like a nightmare. And if anybody has ever bought property before, I hope your experience isn't like this. And most people's experience isn't like this. If this just happens to be the first time you have watched any of these videos or see my channel at all, I'm just going to touch on it very fast just because some people might not know what's going on. Basically, I had a child and I wanted to buy a house because I was living in a converted school bus before that forever. And bought this property. First one. It's the first house I've ever bought. And it has a mortgage on it. I had real estate agents, went through title company, build inspector, the whole thing, did everything normal, right? Turns out that a bunch of the buildings, most of the buildings here were all built illegally without a permit, right? And when this property sold, the county came out here and did a tax assessment because they couldn't understand why it sold for so much when the only thing on the tax roll was a 900 square foot double wide mobile home and a garage. So it wasn't making sense on paper why it sold for what it did. That's because it had 3 illegal structures that I've tore down. 1, 2, oh dang. So I had 4. So I've tore down 3 structures and there's a big addition to the shop and I'm fighting to keep it, which is most of the property value here. I can't lose that, or this is how you would go bankrupt on a property, right? Anyways, so that's a brief overview of what we're dealing with here. Now, I have been going through the permit. I've already touched on some of this stuff so many times, so I'm trying not to really reiterate what's going on, but I've been going, it's called an as-built permit process, and I want to break all this down later. I keep talking about that, but I've been going through that. I've turned in all my paperwork, and I've been literally waiting to be able to do the repairs on the illegal addition to the shop so that I can make it legal and keep it, right? I turned in that paperwork. I don't know how long ago, and I've just been sitting here waiting. So, I got an email, I think yesterday. It all kind of blurs together. I don't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. That basically says the paperwork I turned in failed. Now, that piece of paper is very, very, very expensive. It's just crazy. It's like I'm just trying to get through this, trying to make this work, trying to work with the county, and every time I turn around, it's like some issue, right? So I'm going to tell you the updates that I don't think I have talked about yet. That's the big one, and we'll go into more details, but there's a few sides to it. There's mechanical, which is like the actual structure of the building, how it's framed, garage doors, nail plates, etc., right? Like the mechanical side of it. And that's the side that's really been a pain in the butt. There's no plumbing in the shop, so there's no whatever you call that, right? But there is electric. So I had to have a separate contractor, an electric contractor, come in and basically take a look at all of the electrical, the fusing, the wires, the outlets, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He was great to work with, right? So he came in here, checked it all out, said there's really nothing crazy, really nothing out of the ordinary on that side. And so the process for that was the electrician came out here, got a game plan, submitted the permit to make the fixes or repairs to the electric side of it. And then after he did that work, an inspector had to come out and inspect his work, right? So electrician came out, got a game plan, submitted it to the county. He came out, did the work. And just a few days ago, the inspector came out with the electrician, walked through the whole thing, and that side of it's done. So like half of the permit is done, right? Now what failed was the mechanical side. And I'm going to explain why this is so frustrating. Okay? So my engineer comes out here and looks at everything. Honestly, it's nothing crazy. He puts together a few repairs. It's nothing crazy, right? Like I said. And I submitted that to the county, and I'm just been waiting to do the work. Now, why the paperwork failed? And you got to understand, I am not a contractor, and I don't really know what I'm looking at or what it all means exactly. But what I gather from the email is that the reason the paperwork failed was because he didn't specify the trusses, like the roof trusses. So that's the angle of the roof. Basically, those trusses have to have some kind of ID or marker or I don't know, something like that, right? And that wasn't on the paperwork that I submitted, therefore it's invalid. But here's the kicker. In the paperwork from the county on my file already, because I think I've talked about before how the previous owner actually got the same letters I got 10 years ago, and for some reason the county didn't make him do the repairs, the dude who actually did all this work, and they're making me do the repair. That's a whole different thing. Anyways, at that point in time, the truss thing came up then. The dude bought the trusses from a manufacturer, right? He didn't make the trusses. And the receipt for the trusses and the ID, so everything, the reason they deny my paperwork, which costs a lot of money, is because for a piece of paper they already have in their file. Oh, we're denying your paper because it doesn't have on this paper the ID, but my trusses and the literal receipt has been in their file for 10 years or something crazy. Okay. So I got that email Friday. It's been the weekend. I don't know if we are by the side of the road, and it's raining. I don't know if you can tell. Maybe he didn't see that. Maybe he didn't look. Maybe he didn't care. The problem is there's so many hands in the cookie jar, things are just getting lost, right? Which makes me very concerned because the previous owner said he actually went through this 10 years ago and got it right. Now, with the amount of stuff I'm seeing slip through the cracks just since I've been doing this might be true. As many things as I'm not seeing get passed from desk to desk in the county, I could easily see them actually losing the paperwork that this was all dealt with 10 years ago. But, you know, they got to justify their jobs down there. You know, they got to be able to send out emails to somebody to get a paycheck. So it's making me very frustrated that me, self-employed business owner, property owner, I'm just trying to provide for my family, right? I'm being stalled out and stopped and fined to deal with other people's bureaucracy. Yeah, dude. It is Sunday right now. This video will come out Tuesday. I hopefully will get an email this week, because I'm not sure what to do at this point. Like, what they're saying is missing, they've had in their computer for years. So I sent the county a copy of the paperwork they already have in their system, and am like, yo, here it is. It's been in your file. What is this about? So hopefully I'll have an answer before this video even comes out, but I wanted to give you this, you know, I'm trying to update you guys as I go through this process. So maybe it'll open your eyes to be, if you're ever going to buy a house or property, just to be so careful and just check everything. And again, I want to sit down at the end of all of this and break it down into all the specific things that I've learned through this. Yeah, so that's the update that I have for now. So, like I said, hopefully I sent him a copy of the receipt from their own system to them. Hopefully, like, oh, our bad. And they just say, do the repairs. I'm just waiting on permission to fix my own property, right? Now, people say that my county and my state is really bad on this kind of stuff compared to others, and I don't have experience with that, so I don't know if it's all this bad or if it's just my state and my county that's this bad. I don't know, but it's pretty bad here, and I just can't wait to get out from under this whole thing so I can just focus on doing what I need to do to provide for my family and having to keep stopping to deal with other people's problems. I didn't build this place. I bought it. Had a building inspector. Had title. Like, everything was done by the book. And somehow this slipped past everybody. Real estate agents, like, there's no way I should have been able to have bought this property. And I'll deal with all that at the end once I'm done with this. Right now, my main focus is just to make the place legal. So that's the update for now. It's crazy. If there's anybody out there watching this that is a real estate attorney or a land use consultant, and is willing to work pro bono, because right now I'm just getting milked dry, send me an email or something. If you're, especially you're from Oregon, because they're all a little different, but it's been nuts. I just want to get through this. I want to be able to just do things with my life besides to deal with this property. Okay, if you want to help support the channel and help us get through this thing, I'm not asking for anything from you except for just watch the videos. Watch the videos, comment, share. That's all. This is how we pay the bills. So I appreciate you guys being here. If this happens to be one of the first videos you've ever seen, consider subscribing. It's a whole huge backstory here. And we do some pretty cool stuff around here, I guess. And if you're a longtime subscriber, you know we got love and respect. Thank you for being here. And I will see you guys in another video. Yeah, so bye.